Now we want you to share with us our latest and greatest dream. A place of hopes and dreams, facts and fancy, all in one. That's it, right here. Disneyland.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of the Way of Magic podcast. I'm your host Steve, and of course, as always, joining me is Armando. And we're back to talk about Disneyland, wherever we are heading this week.
Yeah.
But how are you doing, Armando?
I'm good, Steve. How about you? How you doing this fine week?
I'm good. Summer is here. The crowds are starting to come back, I'm hearing. And we've got some Disney news to talk about.
Kind of.
So,
I mean, Disney company news, really, more than anything.
yeah.
Let's see. So, we're gonna start off with the first one. It's gonna be actually it's centered around Disney Plus. Actually, believe it or not. So a couple things. With obviously Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny coming out in June. I forgot the exact date of the movie, but just in time for it, every single Indiana Jones movie, from Raiders of the Lost Ark to Crystal Skull, will be on Disney Plus starting May 31st. All of those will be on there for you guys to catch up on and watch just in time for Dial of Destiny. And as well, they also announced, if you guys are into the Marvel scene of Disney Plus, they announced when the new season of Loki drops. That'll be dropping October 6th. And as well as the series Echo, which is actually not following the episodic weekly format. It is going to be a binge format. That is every single episode is dropping on November 29th. So a lot of people speculated why that was. I just think it's because you'll have two weekly shows to watch that are part of the same canon universe. So I think they just kind of did it because they kind of knew that Loki was going to be the more interesting thing that they wanted to keep people on. And I don't think Echo. I mean, obviously, I don't know how good the show is going to be. I have yet to watch it. Obviously, everybody has yet to watch it. But I think it's not going to lead to story as much as Loki's going to, obviously. And from what I correctly, I believe they said Loki season 2 ties into Deadpool 3. So Loki's gonna move the story, the overall arching story forward, whereas Echo is just gonna be a side story. So I think they just figured we'll just drop every single episode. That's what I'm assuming anyway. That's what I think.
But, yeah, I mean, I think that was an interesting decision, honestly.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I think
that's the first Marvel series for sure. But that's the first time I think that's happened on Disney Plus so far.
Yeah. They really like to keep you coming each week.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something. This is kind of off a little bit, but they lost about, what was it, 4 million subscribers last quarter?
Yeah. And I think that's just had to do with, obviously. I mean, as an executive, it's going to keep people tuning in. And it's going to be Star Wars and Marvel when you don't have shows running for that. In your month trial, in your 1 month trial, or your 30, however long, 7-day trial, whatever type of thing, you're either gonna wait for those shows to finish so you could binge it all on that trial, or you're just gonna constantly create new accounts or something, or just be like, you know what, I've had a couple, I've had about 4 episodes to get into this. It's not for me, so they just kind of don't subscribe. So I mean, you kind of know what the fallout's going to be. And aside from those, and if you're not as big of a Disney fan as we are, obviously they have like the behind the attraction stuff on there, the Disney Wish stuff, like making the Disney Wish. They have that kind of stuff on there for people that enjoy stuff like that, like me and you, that actually enjoy the behind the scenes stuff. But if you're not into that and you just kind of want to watch the shows, after that you're just kind of waiting for something else to go back to the platform. So I understand,
Yeah. Well, because unlike Netflix, where they're bringing out content it seems like every other week or something.
Essentially, yeah.
It's it's a little bit different. I see that. I don't understand why they would go so close together, these two Marvel shows, especially when this Echo is just gonna get
definitely
totally washed up, because this Loki thing is gonna be, I mean, I watched it. I watched the first few episodes. It was good, and then I never got around to finishing it. But
Hmm.
I know a lot of people love it, so
That's a really good
I know
show.
they'll be
Yeah, I'm
so.
not. I don't know if they're. I mean, again, they're pushing for more quality over quantity. This time is what they're trying to do. So I think they probably couldn't find a slot to fit it in, so they just said we're probably just gonna just release all the episodes on this day. Don't have to worry about it, type of thing. But you know, we'll see what happens. But I'm interested in this, especially for Indiana Jones, because that's gonna be really nice
Yes,
to kind of get a refresher on everything. Um,
it is. Yeah,
so
yeah. And we've
excited for that.
what time you what day did you say they were going to release it?
May
The
31st is going to be for all Indiana
Okay,
Jones. Yeah.
so that'll give you a month because it premieres uh on June 30th
Okay,
here.
so then it will okay.
So
So end of
yeah,
the month, yeah. But
May 18th is going to be at Cannes, at the film festival, Cannes Film. So
okay. So that's right. Yeah, that's when it premieres actually. Yeah. So yeah. So that's really cool. With that, also in other news, Disney Plus. I don't know if you saw this, but they had announced this Disney executives had announced that Hulu and Disney Plus content anyway, it's gonna be on one platform. So
oh, is it?
I'd imagine Hulu is dissolving into Disney Plus. I don't think they would dissolve Disney Plus. Um, so I'd imagine that Hulu is going to dissolve into Disney Plus, which is nice because then you keep the Disney Plus subscription, and
Mhm.
you have other stuff to watch on there that you're not there for the Mandalorian or any Marvel stuff or any Star Wars stuff really, or any new movies that come out like uh, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, which is actually dropping tomorrow. Actually, it comes out tomorrow
Oh,
actually on Disney Plus as of this recording. May 17th will be the day. But yeah, so I mean, you'll have all the Hulu content on there. They didn't say if it was going to sure go to Disney Plus, but I'm just assuming that it will because I don't think they would wipe out Disney Plus so soon. It's only been here for what, 2 3 years.
yeah. No, it's yeah. No, so I saw that they had Comcast's CEO because
Hmm.
Disney and Hulu or Disney and Comcast own shares.
Oh, okay.
Are the two majority shareholders in Hulu, and that was kind of like I don't know, that was kind of like the peace offering that they did
Hmm.
to get all of those networks to put their content on Hulu. And Comcast is kind of he kind of said that they were thinking of selling their shares to Disney, which is what brings in what you were saying, which is that Hulu will just get absolved into
Yeah,
Disney Plus,
which
which
I mean, it makes sense
is
to me,
it
100%.
makes total sense. I understand the whole idea of the bundle where it was like we've got Hulu's
ESPN,
going to have
yeah.
the FX stuff and the more R-rated adult stuff. Disney Plus will be the family stuff. But the thing is it just doesn't work like that. I mean,
Yeah,
people
because
go on Netflix and they watch kid stuff, and there's really not kid-friendly stuff on there.
yeah,
It's a lot different
and
now.
it was already like that in places like Australia
Mhm.
and European
Oh yeah,
countries that actually had stars on Disney Plus. It was just protected behind a
yeah,
password,
right.
type of thing. So I mean, it already existed in format, just not in North America and stuff like that. But I think it's a great thing. Honestly, me personally, being
I
subscribed
do,
to
yeah.
both Hulu and Disney Plus, it'll save you money. And from what I remember correctly, I think they said that they're still gonna do the tiers, with ads, without ads, type of thing. So I mean, they're still gonna do that obviously. But if it's less than what I'm paying for both, I'm all here for it, honestly.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was cheaper to get I think it was cheaper to get
Bundle.
the bundle,
Mhm.
which I mean, shocker with the way I look, but I'm not a big sports fan, so ESPN was totally lost on
Yeah,
me.
I don't. I mean,
But
I enjoy sports, but I'm not big into the ESPN analyst type stuff. So that's not
yeah,
for me. Um,
but,
I mean,
yeah, I
it is
mean,
what it is though.
with with this conversation was standing, I did stop my subscription to Disney Plus
Oh,
recently. So I
oh,
do not
more
have
power
skin
to
in this game. Um,
Oh,
but
Steve.
I know. Well, see, this is the problem. You brought up exactly why
Yeah,
I stopped. Was that I only watched it for the Imagineering story behind the attractions, and I watched the Wishes thing, and I was like, it's good. I'm good. And I just
yeah.
I left. I don't know. I think if you put in more, and I understand we're a very small market in the overall Disney
Yeah, fandom,
audience.
all that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, I would have loved if you brought in like, give me the old Epcot intro, the old Epcot opening special. Those kinds of things would have been really
And
cool.
and I think they had announced that season 2 was coming for Behind the Attraction, but it still
Oh, is it?
hasn't. That's what they announced a while ago. I'm pretty sure, and there's nothing. I
Yeah,
haven't seen anything on it, and I'm waiting, man. I'm waiting because I loved that thing. I really did. It was so much fun. It's so cool to see the behind the scenes of it. I know we talk about it like every other podcast, but like at least I do anyway. But I think it's just
I
so
know it
cool because you learn the secrets
is.
of it. All that stuff. You learn the backstory of it, and it's just it's really nice to kind of watch that stuff sometimes, especially too when you're
It is.
doing stuff like Legos or something. You put on a documentary that's something that you're kind of interested about, like the ILM documentary that
Oh
me and you
yeah,
both watched.
yeah, yeah. Hmm.
You put on like that, something like that, or even draw, just kind of do something artsy while watching something like that. It really just it's really nice, honestly. It's really really fun
It.
time.
It's funny that you mentioned that because every time I watch that, watch whatever either one of those documentaries, it just makes me want to go out and do something, something like that. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
100%.
I do love that. I would love the Imagineering store to get a second season. I know they kind of went through the whole thing, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's more there. Yeah, yeah. So well, that's exciting.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
mean, it's gonna be fun. They do a good job on that. They do a good job with
yeah,
that stuff.
they do.
Um, but then we got to get to some breaking news
Hmm.
back over here at Disneyland, and that is that you will be able to modify your park pass reservations the day of without canceling. So this is going to start as of recording. It's going to be tomorrow. So when this is up, it'll already be started. But on May 17th, Disneyland Resort will have a new feature where you can, like I just said, you can change what park you're in. You can change the day without having to cancel
Which
your
is
reservation and start a
huge,
new one.
huge.
It is, yeah, because this was always the problem. Because if you ever, I
Yes.
don't know if you ever had this problem, but if
Yes, I
your
did.
if your
I think
friend went
many
and said,
people did.
"Hey," yeah, and you went and said, "Hey, I got reservations for the whatever," and you're like, "Oh, I got those too," but you're at California Adventure for the first part of the day. I'm over at Disneyland. Now you can, if it's available, you can switch it over and have that.
That is such a life changer. Honestly, it took them this long, but I feel like that's something everybody was kind of like, "Hey, can we get this?" So I wonder. I don't know the logistics of it on their end, but it seemed like a pretty easy switch to me personally.
Yeah,
That they could have just turned on, but yeah, I'm glad it's finally here though. It's great. It is really really huge, huge lifesaver because I mean I'm going the 22nd with my girlfriend. Gonna go just in time for Splash Mountain right before it closes.
uh-huh.
And we chose California Adventure because we didn't even think it didn't even cross our mind that that was going. And I was like, oh crap, it's gonna be a huge line by the time we get there, type of thing. And so I was like, oh well, I mean, I was like, I don't want to change the because I was like, I don't know if it'll be there, type of thing. Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
but now, I mean, like you said, starting tomorrow, I have the ability to do that now. So we'll see. I actually might end up doing that. And that's just a big time saver for me.
It really is. So, I mean, it looks like they're making some big changes with what we talked about last week with Disney World, and now with this, we're going to see. I don't
Yeah.
know. We might see those park passes be changed up. It is interesting that they're doing it right at the beginning of summer. So I wonder what the availability and stuff will be for people trying to make these changes and stuff. If
If
this
there
is going to
even will
be
be, yeah.
exactly, yeah. So this might be a thing where everyone. I mean, if you've got a reservation for Saturday and you're at California Adventure and you want to switch to Disneyland, good luck to you. That's all I got. That's what I.
Yeah, yeah, that's gonna be a big thing. So we'll see how that goes. But again, at least the options there for you if you want to. So that's really good, really great. Um,
Yeah. First major change really to the reservation system over
yeah,
here, I
over
think.
here, yeah, you're right,
Over
yeah.
here. Yeah.
Um,
Um, and did you want to talk about the
the
uh Josh tomorrow?
oh yeah, and then there is yeah we can yeah. There is a Q&A that Josh Smart is doing for you said it was
The
JP Morgan, right? It's like
JP
JP
Morgan
Morgan
Global
conference.
Technology Media
Yeah.
and Communication Conference, May 22nd.
So we'll see if anything gets not announced there, but if we talk about anything regarding Disney, we'll find out. I'm sure he will probably. And if we'll see if those statements get released or if it even gets live streamed or anything. But if there's anything, well,
oh
no, go ahead.
oh if you want to stream it, you can go
Well, there
disney.com/investors
you go.
on May 22nd.
So it sounds like it's
So
going to be more of an investors type meeting conference thing.
yeah,
So I'm sure I don't think we're going to get anything new from there. In terms of like anything that's supposed the Avatar stuff that's supposed to be happening over here. I don't think we're going to be getting any of that stuff.
no.
But again, if you're interested in that, you can obviously watch it the investors thing. And if there's anything important, obviously we'll report it here on the podcast. Let's see, that would probably be so in like 3 weeks, I guess we'll talk about it because
Yeah,
it's on the 22nd.
'cause
So yeah, it'll
yeah,
be next week. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
yeah, yeah. I mean, these kinds of it's. Let me get. I'm going to get your opinion on this. Do you think? Because I don't remember Chapek or Tom Staggs. Well, maybe Tom Staggs, but they were grooming him to be CEO for a while. But Jay Rasulo, they never did these kinds of global, conference with all these tech people. I mean, this isn't IAPA here. These are like real financial people. So it seems to me anyway, like they're grooming him. They're trying to get him comfortable with the investor group type of people
Yeah, it kind of
for
seems that way.
when I really do believe that they are grooming him
Well, I mean,
for
Bob Iger's
CEO.
got till what end 2024, so 25 essentially.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I see. I'm thinking good old Bobby. He's gonna probably probably extend at least another year or so.
Oh no. No, 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 no. His wife said no. It's divorce time if he doesn't.
Yeah, well,
She was really
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I know they've made a ton of money already, but I'm sure she wouldn't mind another couple million in the bank. So, um,
uh,
I think, and I mean, we say that jokingly, obviously, but obviously we're not CEOs of a multi-billion-dollar company, um,
what
but
that must be like.
I'm sure that's a lot of a lot of stressfulness in there. But
Well, yeah.
yeah,
Well,
it's
you got your legacy online. I mean, you know, the first time around, some guy came in and just ruined your legacy. Now you've got to clean it up. So you've now got two. You have to clean up twice other people's messes, and now people are only going to remember him for these 2 years.
yeah,
And I mean, Chapek was his disaster. You know, if he had just said to Tom Staggs, "Yes, we are grooming you. You're going to be the next person," and just left when he was supposed to in 2016 or 2017 or whenever that was, we wouldn't have this problem.
we'll see. We'll
But
see what happens, but I don't
yeah,
know. I think because there's not much you can get done here within your tenure of CEO at this point
right,
of 2 years.
right.
Um, so I don't know if he's gonna try to see things through because obviously stuff that's like Tiana and all that stuff that was, I think that was started by the end of his first run. I think.
Well, if you believe what they said, yeah, he
Yeah,
was working on it when in summer of
supposedly, yeah.
2019. Yeah,
Which I don't really believe that, but we'll see. But there's stuff that's moving forward, like obviously Arendelle and all that stuff. I don't even think that was him either. I think that was probably Chapek.
yeah, that
That
was Chip. Yeah,
so that stuff has to get followed through too, obviously, because documents, contracts get signed, all that stuff. So that stuff has to get followed through. So, I don't know if he's gonna start any new processes while he's in for CEO.
yeah, yeah.
If he does, then I imagine he'll probably extend it for another year or so, until at least until that project gets completed, and then we'll see from there. But I don't know. We'll see. Again, I'm not a CEO. I have no idea how that works, but that's just what kind of makes sense to me, I suppose.
Yeah. That is interesting. You just said not a single project that he would have either approved as a part of this tenure
Mhm.
would be necessarily done. Maybe some movies, but like big, like full on, like projects
Yeah,
aren't going to be done in his lifetime or not
yeah,
at his tenure time.
yeah. Because by the time
Those two
D23
years,
rolled around, it was uh I mean, Chapek was
Bobby
still there.
C.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
still there. Yeah. So all that stuff that got announced was him, obviously.
yeah, yeah.
That was whether or not that was his ideas that he came up with, which I know for sure he didn't. But whether or not he definitely approved those ideas.
Yeah.
So you know, again, I have no idea how long it's been worked on. I know he definitely agree. Let me tell you, that blue sky segment, that was all him. He's like, I'm sure much more. I was like, well, I think we're kind of done there. He's like, oh, no, it's gonna be bigger. It's got to be a longer. We got to at least go 2 hours here. What are we doing? And he's like, well, we have some concepts.
Yeah.
Put it in. That's the segment. Put it in. So
Yeah, you see that fuzzy, blurry thing? That's Tragic Kingdom. That's where all the villains live. Okay, alrighty. Oh man.
But yeah. I don't know.
So yeah, well, it's something to think about. It's fun. I don't know. I find that really interesting.
Yeah.
I want to know who's the next guy. Who's gonna be the next person?
Find out in due time, apparently.
Yeah. So is that's I think all we had for the news, right?
That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got a new segment that I am really excited about.
Yes.
I think Armando is too, and I think you guys at home are going to be really excited too, because it is a segment we're calling Stump the Host. So what we've prepared independently, we've prepared a set of trivia questions to test each other's knowledge of Disney parks. I think we mostly stayed at Disneyland. I stayed at Disneyland Resort.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it strays off, but not in the sense that you'll see, yeah. But for the most part, yes.
Okay, so we're gonna go back and forth. We're gonna go back and forth and just try to see who, at the end of this, each one of us has 5 questions. We're gonna see who has the most points at the end of it, and to see who got stumped. So. Armand, you want me to go first, or you want?
Well, how do we want to do this? Do you want to alternate the questions, or do we just want to rapid fire the 5 and then other person does the 5?
I could do. Well, I was thinking 1 and 1.
1 and 1 sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, you can go ahead and go first if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Prepare to lose.
I probably will, honestly.
No. No, I think most of this.
He's like, you're not supposed to say that.
Now I feel bad.
All right, here we go.
All right. First question: what year did World of Color, the original, premiere? Like we can do it like Millionaire. You can talk it out and see what you think. Give me your final answer.
Well, I'm trying to do. If we're doing like Millionaire, am I gonna get a 4-point multiple choice?
Oh. You know what? For next time, I will.
All right. Let's see. God, I'm trying to think.
Actually, you know what? That is a good idea. We should have.
I think no. Don't do that, because that actually makes it harder and it makes it more challenging. That's which is the fun part. God, I want to
1999, 1998.
Right? I'm trying to think. Was it like? I think it was like what was it? I do think it was in the 80s. I think I could have sworn.
World of Color.
Wasn't it? Or was it when? No, there's no way. Oh, the original one. God, I'm stumped here, man. This is already like it's.
Oh man.
I'm like
man, I thought this was during our lifetime. I thought this would.
Was it during? Okay, so then I am thinking of the wrong thing. Okay, so I want to say 2000.
California Adventure opened 2001.
Yeah. No, so I want to say 2000. No, was it 12? No, there's no way it was 12. I'm trying to think. Where was I? 2012, 6th grade. What was that? What was 6th grade? I'm trying to think. Because that came after Cars Land, right? Did it come after Cars Land? Oh man, this is difficult. Okay. When did Cars Land open? That's what I'm basing this off. When did Cars Land open? Was it 2000? Was it 2010? Cars Land open? No. It did open. It did open 2012. Cars Land opened 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say 2014.
Oh, that's your final answer?
Final answer.
No, you're off by 4 years. 2010.
Oh,
2010.
God!
It was the first thing that they announced.
It
was
the first Cars Land.
Yeah.
What?
It went. Yeah. So they announced it in 2007. They announced in 2007 they were going to redo the refurb, and then World of Color was the first thing along with the rest of Paradise Pier. So like Fun Wheel
that got redid, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Technically, Toy Story Mania is the first of the refurb that was done.
But
and
that
then
is
2010.
Insane. I could have sworn Cars Land came after, or came before. That's insane.
Yeah. It's been over 13 years now. 'Cause
Yeah,
I think it premiered it premiered in like June of 2010. So
that is
yeah,
crazy. All right. Well,
I know.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna
Good
go a
times.
little. I'm gonna go a little easy here. This is for this first one. All right. So these aren't just like these aren't just like Steve's and what year did this happen? It's just
Okay.
fact. It's just like a trivia question. So, uh, does the utilidor system exist?
at at Disneyland?
Just does the utilidor system exist?
Yeah, it exists at Magic Kingdom.
Okay, there you go. It's pretty
It's
easy.
oh,
Uh,
okay.
Now, what does it stand for, and what is it used for?
It's called Utility Corridor. It's
Mm-hmm.
a mix up of utility corridors,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got the costuming, break rooms. There's some offices down there. The trash collection system
Well,
is
I
goes
guess,
through
but
there.
what was the initial purpose for it,
Oh,
though?
to move cast members in and around without being seen by guests.
There you go. That's correct. Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
no cowboys walking through front Tomorrowland.
Yeah, that is yeah.
Okay, I see.
That is how
Okay, got it.
what that initial thing was used for. Yes.
So you're like that teacher that goes and says, "It's a two-part question."
Like I probably got yeah. Well,
That was okay. Alrighty. Now, okay. Before Star Wars,
you're
what
talking like
Disney
Galaxy's
movie?
Edge. Oh no. Okay.
Yeah. What Disney
Oh,
movie was originally the theme for the Star Tours motion simulator technology?
oh my
So what was
God.
that technology originally going to be used for? What was the movie?
Did they talk about
So,
this in
19
the Star Tours behind the attraction?
Oh yeah, they do.
Oh my God. What movie? What movie? What movie? Oh. Okay. I do remember this. Yes, I do remember this. I don't. Okay,
Uh-huh.
you're gonna have to give me some leeway because I actually don't remember the original name because
Okay.
it's bad movie, but it was Disney's knockoff of Star Wars. It's like Adventures of the Black Hole or something like that. Some
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah,
that one,
that's
right?
it. Black
Yeah,
hole.
yeah. Oh
It's
God. Yes, I
it's
do remember
basic.
that.
Have
Yes,
you have you watched it all the way through?
I have not. Is it on Disney Plus?
It's on Disney
Of course
Plus.
it is.
I fell asleep for both times. It's basically 20,000 Leagues on the Sea, but without any of the sea shanties, cool submarine, or or
Wow.
underwater stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
it's that's people don't realize that. That was what 1979 is when the movie came out. Like 1984, I think that they developed. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Ron Miller was still CEO at the time. So like
That is
1983
that is crazy. Yeah,
is when they
I do
they
remember that.
found the technology.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. That was
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's try to find a good
All
one
right.
here. Okay. I'll do one of these. Okay. All right. So true or false? Richard Nixon was kidnapped on the monorail.
All right. All right, Mr. Gurr. Let's see. Um, I mean, I'm gonna go with true.
That is true. Yeah, that is correctly.
Yeah.
The story behind that, the kidnapping, was he was invited to do a speech, a commencement speech for the monorail opening, and they took him on, and Walt decided to give him a ride, and they didn't have the Secret Service, so the Secret Service was worried, and tried to catch up with it, and well, I was like, all right, let's go, and so they went off and did the monorail, and when they came back, they were actually relieved that he was fine, and because I guess the day before, I think, or whatever, it had gotten stuck. It didn't work. So uh,
Okay. Not only did it get stuck, it got on fire
yeah,
the
yeah.
morning of.
So it was so they were very worried. And then his daughter liked it so much that she said, "Let's go again." So they went again without the Secret Service again, and the whole thing happened again. But yeah, that
That
is true.
can I add on some to that
Yeah,
story?
yeah.
So, it used to be sponsored by Alguay, which
Mhm.
is a German company that made that technology. So, one of the executives for Alguay was there and was talking to Bob Gurr, and he's all like, when he saw that Richard Nixon went on it, he's all like, "Wow!" He's like, "We've had this technology for years, and you guys have this technology for less than you just haven't just opened it, and you've already put your vice president on it. It's like what what confidence you have in this."
Yeah.
But that's
So
a great story. I love when Bob Gurr tells that story.
yeah.
It's,
No, it was a
it's
good one.
also yeah.
So
Oh, all All right, that's a good one.
Hmm.
Okay, let's see. Um,
So we're on number 3 now, right? For you.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, this is another what year? What year did Haunted Mansion Holiday debut?
Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Well, obviously, I know it's in the 2000s. Was it the late 90s? Because Night Before Christmas didn't come out until 93, I think.
93, yeah.
Um, was it the late 90s or was it early 2000s? I think it was early 2000s. So I want to say 2000. I think it was like 5. 2005. No, not 2005. But you're judging your noise. Oh, gosh. We're not cheating here, guys. We're not cheating here. We
Mm.
are literally, legitimately trying to. Oh gosh. All right.
Yeah, we didn't share these with each
No, we
other.
did not share these with each other. 2000. It's gotta be 2000. 2000. Was it 7? 2007?
Mm.
No, no, not 2000. Gosh, was it the 90s? No, we know it was 90s. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Final answer 2003.
Oh, so close.
What?
2001.
Oh my God! It was. It was. Okay, it was the
It's
first. So it was
it's funny.
basically in the late. Okay, I was thinking about that.
Yeah. 1997 was when they did Small World. That was such a big success that they were like, we gotta get
Ah,
another one going.
darn! I
But it's
knew.
funny, you know what?
Yeah.
What's funny though is 2003 would have been my answer, just because that was the year that Oogie Boogie was introduced. Remember, you had to
Yeah.
like find the hidden Oogie Boogies. That
Yeah.
was like they ran commercials for it. Like that was the first time it hit its stride.
I could have sworn because I was like, I know this is definitely something that's newer, but I was like, I
Hmm.
don't know if it was like I could have sworn it was early 2000s. That's crazy. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the 2001 version only lasted like when it came back in 2002, it was totally different. The music was
Uh-huh.
different, the set pieces were different, stuff like that. So
Oh wow,
it's
that is interesting. All right then. All right. So my number 3 now. Let's try to get you on a one that's a little more. Well, now that I think about it, these are definitely gonna be a little easier than. Okay. I will. Okay, I'll go with this one as well. Okay. So, true or false? Uh, there exists a book. I'm so sorry. That's my dog. He's kind of coughing there. Um. Okay. So, true or false? There. There is a book that exists called The Little Man of Disneyland.
true.
Okay. Now, where is his house located in Disneyland?
Okay. It is. It's near the entrance to Indiana Jones in the planter off on the right.
Yeah, that is
I
correct.
remember this was during the 60th. Is that where it's
That is
at?
correct. Yeah, yeah. It is. It is next
That
to a
was
tree, next to the entrance. I actually haven't checked it since the refurbishment happened, but I'm pretty sure that the house is still there.
okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah,
correct. Yeah,
yeah, I didn't I saw it during the 60th and I never checked back to see if it was there.
yeah, yeah. It is.
That, that's
It's a really
that's
cool, cool piece of just like little trivia. That's kind of cool there.
that is cool. That's a deep cut.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
yeah.
That was
So but
all
again,
right.
that was
And
that was probably the 3 easiest ones I can give you. This the second one. These two, I'll be a little. I was like, I didn't really know this was happening, but we'll see. We'll see.
all righty. All righty. Uh we're gonna kind of stick over there in Adventureland. What other attraction was originally planned alongside the Indiana Jones adventure? There was originally two attractions for that area during that big refurb.
Oh, I actually don't know that one.
I'll give you a hint. They were both Indiana Jones related.
Okay,
But we'll
so
kind of ride it
so
out.
I figured that one was it. It wasn't the theater because they did do that, or no, wasn't it the Sun Show? When didn't they plan on doing the Sun Show earlier? I could have sworn it was the Sun Show. I could be wrong on that. Either that or it
Okay.
was
Wow.
what?
I'm gonna I'm gonna give it to
Because
you.
it was right. It was technically
Even though
like
that was well, it was technically that was gonna be in a different part of the park though.
okay, okay,
So I'll give you half credit for that one. But there
okay.
was another because there was originally gonna be where Toontown is. It was gonna be split. There was
Uh-huh.
gonna be Hollywoodland and then Toontown. And
Okay.
Hollywoodland was gonna have the stunt show, as far as I know. But there was another attraction planned to go in with
I'd
the
imagine that would have been a roller coaster that they ended up doing eventually. Was that
Yeah.
that's correct? Yeah, I was like I figured because I was
Yeah.
like I know there was original plans for that because I think Disneyland Paris
Hmm.
took the plans, right, essentially. Wasn't
Yeah,
it
they
like
took
sounds
like
like a story like that or something like that? Yeah.
it was originally was designed for Disneyland Paris because they have a huge plot of land for
Yeah.
it. And then it got morphed and changed to fit into ours. And then the money just Paul Pressler was like, yeah, no. But yeah, it was gonna be a mine train, like a not a, like a mine cart,
Yeah, yeah, no, because it was
thing,
yeah.
Temple of Doom kind of
Hmm.
thing.
Yes, I do
But
remember that though. Yeah,
and the weird thing is, yeah, and you were gonna have to take the Jungle Cruise to get to it.
which would have been cool actually
That was the original. That would have been awesome because
to
I think
get
it was
off
Eddie
points.
Sato.
Would have been cool.
Yeah, so you could have either I guess they would have done it like every other boat was gonna go to the two tickets of the land, and then
Yeah,
one would just go around the Jungle Cruise and stuff like that, which would have been really cool.
I think so
Because like,
too. It would have given it like a monorail type esque thing.
yeah, well, it's like what Sato was said. He was like, if you're gonna go on this adventure, you don't just show up at a temple. You gotta like get to the temple, and so this would be you gotta take the boat and
True though.
do the yeah, which should have been really cool. But all
Um,
right, I thought that was I kind of knew because I knew um Indiana Jones Adventures
yeah, I know.
is your jam, so you got
Yeah, I do. I love Indiana Jones, so I do remember that I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they had planned originally if the Sun Show was supposed to be for here or whatever. But
yeah
alrighty, cool. So
yeah.
all right, so I've done those. These ones were a little more like I mean I don't think they're that hard, but these are a little more like I didn't know these were actually called and everything. So all right, so the Rivers of America, Jungle Cruise, the Castle Moat, and Storybook Canal boats all share what thing in common?
They're all connected. They've got a they call it the big what do they call it, the big river or something? They all filter into to each other.
I mean that's close. It does have to do with the water.
They all flow into rivers of America.
No, not that one. Okay, so this one was a little okay. This one
They're all
this is one that stumped you. This is good. This is good.
they're all dyed a certain color.
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to okay, but I'll give you
Well,
half the credit. Do you know what that
okay.
is called?
Oh, geez. Oh, murky, murky green, murky
Is
brown.
that your final answer?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It's the official thing is called the dark water system. The
Oh,
dark water system, which
oh,
is they're all
okay.
dyed this grayish murky brown. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. I always heard. I guess yeah. I always heard it was the big river or something like that.
Hmm.
But yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
cool.
there you go. All right,
That
that's
is
good. That's
cool.
good. That's one that stumped you. That's good.
Yeah.
All right,
All
you're
right.
good.
I'll give it
Told you,
to you.
I'm
That
good.
was tough.
All right.
That's cool. All righty. And this is my last one.
Uh-huh.
All righty.
Well, I mean,
We'll go back.
regardless, we've already here, folks. That Steve's already won, but we're gonna keep going on with this. This is
Hey,
actually
well,
this is
this
good
one. Well, this one I think you might get.
stuff. Okay.
I think. Okay. So we got before Grizzly Peak and Carthay Circle Theater. What was the original plan for the icon for California Adventure? This is before it was built. What was the original planned visual icon?
What? Gosh, I actually don't know. I feel like it would have been either the giant orange that was in Silly Symphony Swing. It would have either been it wouldn't have been Mickey Mouse. There's no way because California Adventure. I feel like it would have either been that or the Hollywood sign would have been like
Hmm.
the thing. I feel like that would have been a thing. I actually don't know this. I don't think I actually ever like read up on what was supposed to be original. I always thought it was the grizzly bear, because we have the bear for California. But uh,
Yeah, that's what it eventually became. Yeah,
I,
it was.
I actually yeah I don't know. I don't know.
No. All right. Well, there was. So it was before they built the River Run, Grizzly River Run. It was going to be a spire, a giant golden spire.
What the heck? Oh, that does
Yeah.
sound familiar now.
So,
Actually,
so what
yeah.
happened was this World of Color, Westcott was planned, and part of Westcott was going to have a 300-foot tall spaceship Earth. And to
Huh.
put that in perspective, the one that's in Florida is only 180 feet tall. So this one was giant, and local like community organizers did not like that. that it was too big, and it was all gold. It was very gaudy looking. So they shrunk it down to a golden spire, and that was what was the thing of Westcott. And then when they changed it to California Adventure, somehow this thing was the only holdover. And so it was there in the early, like the early press releases and stuff like that. It was this golden spike that was going to supposed to symbolize all the wonders of hope of California or whatever. And then it morphed into the sun, and then it morphed into the Grizzly Peak.
Interesting.
Which,
See, I also would have said sun too, because I was also, but
that's what it.
that is insane. Yeah, that's crazy. All right
Yeah.
then. Well, again, also, the good thing about these facts and trivia is that it also broadens our knowledge of the park as well. So that's pretty cool.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, so my final one is true or false. There are time capsules buried in Disneyland in California Adventure.
I know there's one in California Adventure. I think it's true. There's one for like the 35th or something, 40th at Disneyland.
That's your final answer?
Yes.
It is true. It is true. Yes, there are both time capsules buried at Disneyland and California Adventure. They are set to open accordingly, which is going to be Disneyland is actually July 17th, 2035 for the 80th anniversary. Ooh. And DCA is set to open June 15th, 2037.
37, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah.
That's not that far away.
No. I mean that's for cool. Both of them. I mean, we'll be alive for both of those capsule openings, so that'd be kind of cool.
We will. Stay tuned for 10.
Yeah, almost.
From
Yeah,
now,
gosh. Oh boy.
I have one more. Before we go, I have one more bonus.
Oh, okay. All right. See, he didn't tell me we were doing this. Oh, see, now I look like I'm unprepared.
Yeah, no. No. It's real quick. What time is the 3:30 parade?
That's a tough one. I'm gonna have to say 3:30 maybe.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You'd be surprised at how many people actually you hear that. You hear people like ask cast members, "What time is this parade at? What time is the 3:30 parade at?" And it's like, oh gosh.
And then they're standing at Small World on the first parade, and they're like, "Huh, it's 3:30. It's not here." You're like, "Well, yeah, because it's starting down there. You still got 20 more minutes before it arrives."
I'm like, oh my god, but oh gosh,
that was fun.
That was fun. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. See, and I think the people at home like that.
Let
us know what you thought.
I hope so. Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah. And like I said, really broadens our knowledge as well. So
it does. I've always wanted to know how that river thing worked, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
And I want to know what's in those time capsules now.
I think when I looked it up, I think there was like they said what was in there, but I don't know if that's true or not. To be honest, we'll see. Like some
they opened
people
up the time capsule at Animal Kingdom for its 25th anniversary.
Oh, what was in there?
And it was what was that?
What was in that one? For the Animal Kingdom one.
Oh, it was they had like a VHS tape from they had the VHS tape from like construction. They had some tickets, T-shirts, and stuff like that.
Cool. Well, technical difficulty, folks, on a little bit, but that's okay. We'll
recording we'll stopped.
Sorted out.
Yeah. Yeah. So they had like a VHS tape from like the construction, and they had some T-shirts and tickets and stuff like that from that time.
Cool. That's pretty.
Yeah, it was pretty neat.
Also, sorry if anybody at home can hear my fan. It's getting pretty hot in my room, so I turned on my fan right next to me. I apologize if there's any noise. You can't hear it, right?
No.
Cool. I turned it on like really like a low setting, so hopefully it doesn't. It's not too loud for anybody, but it's pretty toasty in here.
That's
so.
all good.
I know. But yeah, that's crazy. But that was our trivia.
It
was really fun. I enjoyed it. Well, I guess until we run out of questions for each other, I guess this will be a weekly thing. So look for that. But now it's time for the fun topic.
Yeah.
And what's today's topic, Steve?
Today we're going to be talking about our thoughts on Galaxy's Edge and these IP megalands
Mhm.
in general, and how we think they uh they size up. How does Avengers Campus? How does that feel now that it's been open for a while? Just kind of our thoughts on these things. Have we seen too many of them? Are we ready to get back to kind of the more abstract lands, or are we still in the era of the big IP megalands, I guess you
Yeah.
say.
So, I guess I'll just kind of jump in here, but yeah, it's I mean, gosh, what Galaxy's Edge opened what end of
Almost 4 years.
like yeah,
It'll be
right?
4 years this coming a couple of weeks.
Because
Yeah.
it opened in 2017, right? And like at 2017, 2018, something
No,
like that.
2019.
Was it 2019?
May 2019. I remember that was a fun time. That
May
was
2019. Wow,
yeah.
that is insane.
Well, according to my opening day pin, uh, May 31st,
Oh wow,
2019. Yeah, I waited way too long in the line for this pin.
May 31st, 2019. That is crazy. So oh,
And then
I get what?
and that
Really?
was for the reservations.
May 31st. That's crazy. Interesting. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, man, it was a time though. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I think Galaxy's Edge um is honestly and still honestly, I think one of the more pinnacle ways to do it if you're gonna do it. You know, I think if you're really gonna immerse yourself, I think
Hmm.
Cars Land and Galaxy's Edge are good examples of how to do it. Um, I mean, I think Galaxy's Edge is bigger than Cars Land, actually. Um, and there's just like you walk in
Yeah, no car.
on on the like the Frontierland, no, not Frontier, I'm sorry, Critter Countryside, on the Critter Countryside New Orleans Square side. You walk in on that, and that's like the big
Yeah.
kind of reveal of everything you see, Rise of Resistance over there. But if you're walking through that way, which when I actually went for because I was able fortunate to go for a cast preview. I knew a person, so I was able to go for the cast previews. And when that happened, we entered through the Critter Countryside, and we kind of walked and everything. We had to put our phones in the sealable bags, and we weren't allowed to take picture or video or anything. But um, we had walked.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It was kind of crazy actually. Um, and we walked through that, and we saw the A wing and everything, and I think the moment that really hit me, that was like, this is really cool, was when you see the bazaar, like the actual like shop in the middle and
Hmm.
everything, all the decorations and everything. I was like, dude, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy amount of detail and everything. This feels like Star Wars, and it really helps too because there's you get the New Orleans Square and the Frontierland trees covering everything, so you just see rock work and trees. It feels like you're on a completely different thing.
Yeah, no, the scale changes too so well.
Yeah.
They make that transition so well. My favorite little detail of Galaxy's Edge is the when you're coming in from that side, the lamp posts
Hmm.
are like hanging like this
Yeah.
when you're in Critter Country, and then they move into kind of like this like space thing, but the light color stays the same. So there's like this great transition piece
It's really cool,
when you go underneath that rail track. Yeah.
and I
So
think it's really cool.
my yeah, my first I got him during the cast member previews
Hmm.
for Galaxy's Edge, and I remember coming in there, and when the first time you see the bazaar, it really does kind of change.
That's good.
You're just like, oh, this is cool. But
Yeah.
for me, it was when you went through. They do such a great job of always giving you this like, keep coming kind of thing, like
Yeah.
this
Oh yeah.
carrot at the end of the stick kind of thing. Because the way I went, because I wanted to get into Ogas, and that didn't work because
Yeah.
I didn't make it in that time. But I remember going. You go around past Droid Depot, and they were bringing everyone in that way. So you went and you saw the First Order stage there, and that kind of little plaza there, and then you just kept going, winding your way through until you saw the Millennium Falcon. I just thought that was such a great payoff.
Yeah, the
The way
Millennium
that they
Falcon,
designed that.
Millennium Falcon reveal was really cool.
Hmm.
The way it's stationed too and everything, I think it's really cool, and the fact that that is like the centerpiece for that attraction, is phenomenal. Um, but I think that the scale of the land is really good. What's inside the land there to offer, at the time, wasn't too great. I feel like. I mean, you had the Droid Depot, and you had Savi's workshop, and of course Doc Ondar's, but and the food places and everything. It's really honestly, as much as there's like little stuff to do in that land, it is a very immersive land. You have the Disney Play app that you can actually do like the whole hacking stuff and all that stuff, and you can like turn on like radio comms and all that stuff. It's really cool, but I think that is done at a better scale than some of the other lands that other theme parks have done. Mainly like Hogwarts and everything, Hogsmeade. I think
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I do. I honestly I feel like it is done at a better scale, and I had at the time I hadn't seen any of the Harry Potter movies, and I wasn't too much of a fan. I mean, I'm like I can tolerate them. They're not bad. I do enjoy the movies actually.
Oh,
I wouldn't
see,
I wouldn't say I'm
I
like
don't know.
I'm like a huge fan of Harry Potter, but I don't mind it. I'll watch the movies again. And, I'll like I actually understand stuff now, but I at the time I took one of our friends actually was and she said um like Harry Potter. She's more of a Harry Potter fan than she's a Star Wars. She likes both of them, but she's more of a Harry Potter fan. And she even like I even told her I was like, yeah, this is better than Harry Potter World, huh? And she goes, yeah, it is. It's like way better than Harry Potter World.
Well, it feels. I mean, I haven't been to the one in Florida, but the one in here in
Yeah,
Hollywood, that Hogsmeade feels. I mean, it feels small. It doesn't feel like a world.
yeah,
Whereas Galaxy's Edge, probably because of the time it takes you to get from the rest of the park to Galaxy's Edge, you do feel like, oh, this is I'm going someplace. And there's a great layering of that effect that's done
hmm
in Galaxy's Edge.
yeah.
That you can go into like the forest, and then that feels like its own little place. Then you can be in the town, and
And
yeah, it
yeah,
is good. It's a
it
lot better.
it's done really well, and the fact that Rise of the Resistance kind of adds to that. At the time when it opened, we weren't able to experience that, but the fact that Rise of the Resistance adds to that in the queue of you going on the starship and obviously turning and then going into like a Star Destroyer type of thing. You're in a hangar that's suddenly like you're like whoa, like am I like you kind of forget like your brain. It's done so well. Your brain actually makes you forget that you are out like on that you're first of all in Disneyland, and second of all that you're in Galaxy's Edge still.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, they do a great job of that. I think that was the problem when this opened, was that it didn't look, because it didn't have both attractions and it was one attraction and two paid experiences.
Yeah.
It really harmed, I think, the that land a
Yeah,
lot.
it definitely did, and they had also kind of told everybody, annual pass holders specifically, like, hey, first of all, we're gonna block you out. Second of all, it's
Oh yeah, that's true.
we expect a lot of people to, so we're just be aware, like everybody, it's gonna be a busy land, and because of that, I think everybody was kind of like, well, the people that want to go, they're gonna go, but the people that are like, well, maybe we'll hold off on it, type of thing, like
Mhm.
they held off on it so long if the land itself was in Disney's eyes. I mean, it wasn't at any point did you feel like it was dead, because there was still a lot of people in there, but
You know, it was yeah.
in Disney's eyes, it was dead on arrival. In Disney's eyes,
It was definitely not what we were expecting.
yeah,
I mean, I remember going and just being like, this is going to be insane. And then showing up on the 24th, that was the first day I ever rope dropped. And I
mm,
stood there and I remember walking through and I'm like, oh, where's the crowds? I thought
yeah.
so.
Everybody expected it to be much
Yeah.
bigger, and I think honestly, it to some degree actually there's a little bit more of a bigger crowd these days than there was at initial uh, launch.
Y- Yeah. What's interesting though about Galaxy's Edge is it's the one land at Disneyland that empties out
Yes.
by like two. And it's so bizarre to me. So you're like, how is it that I'm walking? Because I usually make it back there towards the end of the night, and
Yeah.
I walk around and I'm like, oh, because I mean, Smuggler's Run can be like a 15-20 minute wait at like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And I always found that interesting that was a
I
big land here has this
to,
problem.
to be fair, I do believe also it's because it's in the back of the park. At that point, everybody's kind of like, well, I've ridden a lot of the time, and Rise closes at 10, I believe, actually. So
Yeah.
there's really no point to be in that land, honestly, at that point, unless you haven't done that land yet. So at that point in time, I think there really is no reason for that land to be open. Like, not to say that it should not be open. I think it should, because the experiences are still there. Droid Depot and the Savis, which by the way, Savis in itself is a phenomenal experience. I cannot say like better things about that. Basically attraction, because that's kind of what they treat it as.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I can't say anything bad about it because it's really cool. It really gives you like if you just love Star Wars and everything, you really just get in the feels of that. It's an emotional experience because I mean you get to build your own lightsaber, and they're not cheap either. Um, the
No.
they because I mean it's basically $100 for the saber and $100 for the experience. So it kind of levels out. So it's $100, like it's not like actual metal, it's steel. So it's it's steel. It's a steel lightsaber. It's not plastic or anything. The only thing that's plastic is the blade. And I don't even think it's a plastic, actually. It's like a polycarbonate type thing. But
It's yeah, no, yeah.
yeah, it's a decently made saber. It's gonna last you a couple years unless you treat it badly and throw it around and everything. But it's gonna last you a couple years, and you have to change the batteries on it. That's it. But it's a very well made lightsaber, and to keep it coming back, they actually changed the sets. They actually had just changed the sets, I believe,
Did they really?
recently. Yeah, about a couple months ago, I think, is when they had like actually like gotten the final set in there. So I think every set has now been rotated out, and it's new. It's still the same like power and control type of thing. It's just different looking ones. Um,
Oh, okay.
so they
'Cause
they
they're
have different designs.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I will say this is the one thing. This is my one complaint with Galaxy's Edge. There's not a lot of like that kinetic energy
Hmm.
that you would kind of expect.
Yeah.
And I think this is kind of a problem with all of the lands because um, Pandora doesn't really have that kind of thing. Cars Land does just because they have the flat rides and obviously Radiator Springs Racers comes through.
Yeah.
And um, Marvel Campus, Avengers
Avengers
Campus has
Campus.
it. I just call it Marvel Campus.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
you're all
I'll
good. You're
turn
all
my
good.
I'll turn my badge in at the door and I'll let out. Um, but there's nothing really there going on unless you get to catch the show where they throw the animatronic and fling it out the
Yeah.
off the roof. Um, but yeah, no, that's my only thing. Uh, I know everyone complains about the droids. That would have been cool, just
Yeah.
that kind of experience. But
That would have been cool.
it's still a very well done land. And you know what? Can I tell you one of my favorite details about that land?
Hmm.
When you get to where the Millennium Falcon is, you'll notice like all around the area there's like a lot of like laser blast
Yeah.
holes. There's a lot of
Yeah.
like it's just a great. You can see there's like chips in the, the buildings and stuff like that. There's just a great level of storytelling that's going on there.
It is. It's really nice. So, honestly, as a whole, from it all, I don't think it was a bust at all. Really, I just think it took some time, um, for people to kind of come back because they probably realized like, hey, this is not as busy as I thought it was going to be, type of thing. So that's what that was. But I don't think that was a bust at all. I really don't. Not as big as a bust as Avengers Campus.
See, here's the thing though, they can blame Avengers Campus on the pandemic and crowds and all that stuff like
Yeah,
that. But
they can.
no, it's definitely, I mean, Avengers Campus just did everything. It just didn't do anything. It made the same mistakes as Galaxy's Edge did, but without
Anything to do in
there's no
gifts.
follow
There's not.
through. So
Yeah,
we
there's nothing to do in there.
right. So they opened up with one attraction that was a C ticket. It's
Mhm.
not an E ticket. With the plan that an E-ticket's going to come down sometime down the road. At least at Galaxy's Edge, we knew it was coming online soon.
Yeah.
So that was a problem I had. But yeah, again, no kinetic energy. It just, this. I understand people like the characters. That kind of for me. I mean, for me personally, the way I travel, that's just not the way I do the parks. That's just not a thing for me. I don't
Yeah.
need to see
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But and I think the food too. I mean, the food was so original at Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, it really
The
was. They have one gimmick at, well, two, I guess, two gimmicks at Avengers Campus. That's the shawarma, obviously, which is not bad at all. Actually, it's pretty decent.
never had it.
It's not actual shawarma from what I've been told. It's just kind of like marinated chicken, but it's still very good. And it's very very good. And then obviously at Pim's Test Kitchen, which they just give you the gimmick of large or small food.
It's big. Look at that.
Which, by the way,
I
that
have
pretzel is not
No.
It's not something to rave about, honestly.
No, no, go get the regular one. That's honestly right. I mean,
Either that, or just walk down to downtown Disney and go get yourself Wetzel's pretzels.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
If we're gonna talk about which one's the best, yes,
Yeah.
I'll take some Wetzel's bites over that anytime.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the sauce is just not good. What's funny though, I have a real love-hate relationship with Pim's because I really do like the panini. At least I think I like it every time I order it. I've ordered it like 4 times.
I
And
see.
every time I eat it, I'm like, why did I get this? Just wasted some precious room here. I could have gotten something I really like.
I never actually have had. I only went to Pim's once, and I just didn't enjoy the food that they were offering.
What'd you get?
I got the pretzel because at
Oh,
the
you just
time,
got the pretzel.
well, I didn't. Yeah, again, we know this. I'm a very picky eater. And I just was not really enamored with the choices that I had made. And any of the kids meal stuff didn't really seem enticing to me either. So I was like, well, I'll just get the pretzel. The pretzel's at least big, and it's a snack, but it'll count as a meal because it is pretty big. It's pretty. I mean, it's a giant pretzel, which I mean,
Yeah, you do get what you
for the price, yeah,
what you're paying for.
it is nice. It'd be better if it tasted good. But I
so dry.
I didn't enjoy that. What I did enjoy though, which is actually very good, is the candy bar, the chocolate bar that they have, which is a mix of like a bunch of things. It's a mix of like Three Musketeers, Snickers, Twix. Like it's really good, very sweet, but it's such a good chocolate bar.
I've never. Wow. Okay. Again, I will
Uh,
see myself out. I did not
Yeah,
know
oh,
about the
it's good.
chocolate bar.
I don't blame you, man. Again, I would not stay in that land very long. It's cool to show everyone Spider-Man and Guardians and all that stuff for the first time. I mean, Guardians, everybody loves Guardians, so they'll keep coming back. Um, but it's cool to show like everybody that hasn't been to Spider-Man. It's cool to show everybody Spider-Man once, and then you're like, okay, well, if we're gonna come back, we're not gonna do this again. We're gonna go to Toy Story because that's better.
Exactly. Well, so funny story. My girlfriend took her mom and sister for a girls trip to Disneyland
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago, and they have not been in probably about 4 years. And my girlfriend's like, "Oh, we got to go on all these rides, stuff like that." And they're like, "Well, what about Spider-Man?" She's like, "Yeah, no, you don't want to do that." She's like, "We have too much to do. We don't need to waste time on Spider-Man."
And it's
I think
sad
they're.
because I mean Spider-Man's this huge character in Marvel, and like
I know.
I'd say probably about 70% of people's favorites, and he was wasted on a Toy Story Mania ripoff that's not even that good, and the idea of it's cool because there's no gun to shoot. You are the gun. You use your arms. It's really cool, and I mean you don't have to necessarily do this. It's always fun to do this, but it like it'll detect your arm if you just kind of like just go like this.
Yeah, if you just do this.
Yeah.
Because
Uh,
I took my parents, and that was the funniest thing, is watching them try to. After a while, they just started doing this, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Wow, look at that!"
What it will not it will not take this though. You cannot just kind of spam like this. It will not
Oh yeah, no.
register it.
Yeah, no, you got to at least get something going.
Yeah,
on the
you have
wrist
to with the
action,
wrist.
right?
Yeah. So unless you have the little what we call DLC in real life. The actual, what is pay to win essentially. Unless you have the blasters, which I've only seen everybody use those once, and that was during a cast preview.
Yeah, no, I've never seen anyone
Yeah.
when we've gone on. I've never seen anybody with them.
It's not, you don't.
Good idea, good concept, doesn't really work.
It's just it's wasted, and I don't know. I just think, and it sucks because I like Marvel. I like Marvel just as much as Disney. Well, I do, yeah, but I like Marvel just as much as Star Wars. And I mean, Galaxy's Edge has its flaws, obviously, but it is leagues above Avengers Campus. Leagues above Avengers Campus.
Well, well, like Galaxy's Edge gives you the feelings that you get when you watch the movie. It
Yeah,
puts you in it gives you that moment where you're like, I'm in the movie. Avengers Campus feels like it, it feels like a mall. I don't know what else. I mean, it doesn't
yeah,
have the same.
it's not. Yeah,
Feels
and
like the Irvine Spectrum or
and
something.
and
I don't
what you
know.
feel when you walk into
Maybe not
Galaxy's
that one.
Edge, what you feel when you walk into Galaxy's Edge, Rise of the Resistance quadruples that, like 100%.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know if, again, I mean, the e-ticket is being built. We don't know if that'll. I don't know if it'll necessarily like raise expectations of Avengers Campus, because I mean, Galaxy's Edge was already, like, again, miles above it, and while Rise of Resistance added to that, it made it better. I I don't know if it'll bring it up to Galaxy Edge's level. Well, I think
Hmm.
that attraction will that attraction boosts it's the 100%, but I it's not
Yeah.
going to be anywhere close to Galaxy's Edge unless they expand that land.
Well, it's going to be one of those things where people go to ride. It's like Epcot. So Epcot has the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster.
Hmm.
It's not people are going to that roller coaster. Or they're not going to experience the whole land
Yeah.
there. They're going to ride the ride, and then they're most likely going to head to World Showcase or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
whereas Galaxy's Edge, it's mostly like you want to be in the space.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, the weird thing is though is that you have two lands that are two sides of the coin right next to each other, because you have Avengers Campus and then you got Cars Land right next door.
Which is
And
good.
Cars Land, which is great, but it does have its flaws. It's not as fully as immersive as you'd want it to be, especially
True.
now because you've got Avengers Campus there, so you can see Spider-Man flying up in the air right next to
Yeah.
Mater. So I mean, there's that, but that gives you all of the feels that the the Cars movies, I think,
Yeah.
have
I mean,
just so well.
it really is. I mean, that was the first taste of it, really. For IPs in general, was Radiator Springs. It felt like it literally was ripped out of the movie.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, you could argue Bugs Life, or
yes and no, but that's different though, because that wasn't actually what was taking what is existing. They actually made up a whole thing for that. Like, literally, they had their job was to take Radiator Springs that was in the movie and just
true,
rip it to the
true.
to the to the to the spot. So, and I think
Yeah.
they did pretty well with that. And I think, and to be honest, I think that was better than Bugs Land too. You know.
Yeah, I mean, because it gives you a place. I think that's why these IP lands work so well, is because it gives you this, oh, it looks like the movie kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it's an instant connection that you have with it.
Yeah. hundred
But I mean,
percent.
yeah, I mean, even what, 12, 11 years after this, 12 years after this place opened, I still hear people, kids coming in saying, must have been where they filmed the movie. It looks just like the movie. So yeah, no, yeah, it's an amazing.
It's cool.
Those are
It's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, do you think this is have they kind of jumped the shark since Avengers Campus? Is that like, have we reached the end of the IP lands? Are we gonna?
I don't
Because
really know. I don't think so, because it makes money, right? It makes money. I mean, look at they're making a Frozen Land. It's not even called Arendelle. They're making a Frozen World in Hong Kong, right? And I don't think we're gonna see the end of it, just because, again, it does make money, and that's just how it is. Um, 1 second, he is whining, so I'm gonna pause. So I just don't see that going away, but I don't know. I think I know you would love to see more original lands, but I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
mean, as a fan, if I was a business person looking at the business of it, yeah, I don't see, because it's just not marketable.
Yeah,
When you're Disney, you shouldn't have to do that.
yeah,
But I also I also view theme parks as kind of their own medium of storytelling. They don't need something
which is
else to
true,
stand
which
on.
is true. But I guess that
But
also, at the same time, I guess. But I don't, because you also look at, like, major theme parks, which is Universal and Disney, right? And they
mhm.
what do those all have? Those all have IPs in them. So,
Right.
uh,
Yeah, that's why it's like from a business standpoint,
yeah,
everyone else around you is doing what they can. Busch Gardens and SeaWorld are the only ones that are, creating just out of this,
yeah.
just kind of random things. So yeah,
Which,
no, you definitely have to.
yeah,
But the question is what what franchises are left to do these kind of mega lands,
yeah,
you
right.
know?
Because I mean, well, I guess if you're in Disney's case, you make movies and make those based off of, make
Yeah.
those attractions based off, because that's what they're doing with Moana, Frozen. You wait for this next big giant thing, which will happen because it's Disney.
Mhm.
And what happened with Moana. I'm sure Encanto's next in some regard somehow. They've already said that they want to incorporate Encanto somehow. Um,
Yeah.
so whatever is big, I guess, is what would happen. Now, if you're talking, outside of third party IP, I don't know. Again, I don't know.
Yeah.
There will always be something that will pop up that'll be like, we need that in the land. Or we
Yeah.
need that, yeah. But I don't know. I mean, okay, it was Blue Sky, but it was and it's for Walt Disney World. It's not necessarily for just theme parks in general. If they do, I think the only other thing that would be marketable, that's an original land, is a Villains Land. That would be,
Yeah.
I think, the only other marketable big thing. That's gonna be like, we have to go. So.
Yeah. That's true. That's that's the only thing I can think of that would be,
But I mean, are
yeah.
IP lands successful? Yes,
Yeah.
if they're
Oh
done
yeah.
correctly.
Even if they're not, I mean, I bet Avengers Campus still brings in the money,
Probably.
even though it's not,
Well, I mean, yeah,
even though it's not what we
because
wanted.
that's true. Because I mean, we're I think it's only us and Paris. And does Walt Disney World have it or no? Right?
No,
Yeah,
no, and they're not going to get one
yeah.
most likely.
So it's only us and Paris so far that have that. So it is one reason
Hong,
for, or does Hong Kong have it?
Hong Kong has their Tomorrowland's kind of turned into Avengers Campus. They have the Iron Man experience and Ant-Man and the Wasp
Oh,
Nano
that's right.
Bubble.
Yes, yes,
So they've got those kinds of things. But as far as like an Avengers Campus
yeah.
from the ground up kind of thing, yeah.
It's
But
us in
see,
Paris, which it gives it
yeah.
gives it, and I know what they're trying to do with that is they were trying to give Disneyland locals a reason to be like, to have exclusivity, which is nice if it didn't suck.
Yeah, I mean, well, see, Disneyland Paris has pretty much the same kind of thing. They have the same show
Yes,
that we have, but they do have
Iron Man
the
roller
roller
coaster,
coaster, the Iron
which
Man roller
is
coaster.
just the rock and roller coaster, which everybody hates, by the way. Everybody does not enjoy it.
It's not a smooth coaster at all. Um, but yeah, at the same time though, I feel like there's more story building, there's more placemaking in that land.
Yeah,
Um,
which is cool, but
yeah,
there's nothing to tell it too, because people aren't there for that. They're there for the rides. Right. The theme park.
Paris is a different. Yeah, Paris is. Yeah, they're not as I don't. No, they're detail oriented because they have. I mean, they have the best Disneyland park. But yeah, no, they definitely want the rides, and I think that's why they're kind of disappointed. They're like, oh, we just got the same ride that we already have,
Yeah.
which is the roller coaster and stuff like that. But they don't have a Toy Story Mania, so they really do like Spider-Man.
I'm sure Spider Man would be
Um,
big over there, yeah. But I
yeah,
mean, I think we would have enjoyed the roller coaster, which over that, which I think the Quinjet one was supposed to be a roller coaster, but they scrapped that, and now they're doing this whole. It's gonna be something similar to Rise of Resistance. It has to be for that land to be successful.
I, if they could do, if they could use the technology that they have for Cosmic Rewind and somehow make it where you have the thrill of a roller coaster, because you can't do any elevation changes with those trackless ride vehicles and stuff
Yeah.
unless you're doing a lift or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I do kind of worry though that they might be just they know the formula, they know two attractions, place to eat, place to shop, and have
But
something that we can put on the press release.
there is no
Like,
experience in Avengers Campus, which I think also kind of makes it fall. Right, there's nothing, not like make your own superhero type thing, right? Even Walt Disney World, that, well, we talked about
yeah,
this. Actually on here as well, very very briefly. Disney World in Tomorrowland for Tron, they have a shop where you can create your own action figure,
True.
and
That's true.
you can get your own identity disc and all that stuff, and they have something similar like and that's not even a land. That's just a little spot in Tomorrowland for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so like I mean like that'd be something cool over here, right? If you can make your own action figure with your own superpowers or something like that. So something to kind of give an experience to kind of make you go there. If you like drinks, I mean the Taste Kitchen's there, but um that's catered for 21 and over. That's not catered for family. That's not catered for
Right. Yeah.
like there really is no reason to go there unless you're going there for the first time to see everything. Because you can walk through it to
Right.
get to, and the only thing that everybody goes to is Guardians. Guardians always has a long wait, but that's because that's been a popular ride forever.
And it could be anything. I mean, the Guardians it's popular because it's Guardians, but it's popular because it's a drop tower.
Yeah,
I mean,
Tower
it
of
was
Terror
popular
was
when it
very
was the
popular. Yeah,
when it was the bad version of Tower of Terror. So I don't, and it doesn't. Also, too, I often forget that Guardians of the Galaxy is part of the land
because it
just because
wasn't
the
to
way
begin with.
it's
Yeah,
right. Yeah. So it just always kind of feels like it was not an afterthought because it came before, but it feels kind of like they didn't incorporate it as well into the rest of
yeah,
the land
yeah. They
as
definitely
others do.
because they made Avengers Campus a little bit away from it, so it wasn't like I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
It's, I hope I hope then whatever they're gonna do, if Avatar's the thing they're gonna do, if they're gonna do because I just don't know where you have the land to put
You,
in
you
anything,
don't.
at least in our
Yeah,
parks.
you don't. You
Um,
don't.
so whatever they do, hopefully they understand that there's a limited amount of space and you can't waste it on what is essentially I don't even know how to describe it. You know what it feels like? Adventures Campus feels like if you've ever been to Vegas, at the Treasure Island, there's the Avengers headquarters experience where you pay like $50 or something, and you basically just walk through and do these kind of interactive little games and stuff. That's kind of what it feels like. It doesn't
With
feel
no
as
games.
well. I don't even know how to explain. It's like one of those Vegas kind
Yeah.
of you get to be a superhero kind of thing, and it's just a lot of
Yeah.
screens and props and stuff,
There's
but it
nothing.
doesn't
Yeah.
give you the feeling that you're in the space.
I don't. I'm not a fan of it personally. So I don't know. Breathing too much there.
That's,
Yeah, I'm
he's
not.
getting he's so angry here. He's
Um,
losing his breath over just
I'm just not liking it. I'm not. I don't know. It is what it is. But um, I don't know, man. Again, I don't think it's gonna go away anytime soon. Um, I don't know what we're gonna get because we don't have room for lands or whatever. I think we're gonna get more IPs and everything in terms of attractions. But you know, because I don't think there's been an original attraction yet, man. Not in a
no, the last
while.
one. Well, I mean, technically we've got one coming, which is the Adventureland Treehouse, which is supposedly based
True.
on
True.
Swiss Family Robinson, but it's not Swiss Family Robinson.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's C. But yeah, what was the last original attraction? I would at Disneyland. It's
Jeez.
probably like Innoventions. Are we, I mean, California Adventure. All those opening day attractions were original. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
Superstar Limo and Grizzly River Run and
I think.
uh,
Well, if you yeah, for kind of Disneyland,
the
ooh,
Disneyland Park. I think it's really
it's
just
odd.
well, yeah, like rocket rods, right?
Yeah.
I think it was.
It's something,
Yeah, because
man. That's like yeah. I don't. That's not. Yeah. I don't know.
yeah,
Because everything after that
because
came Nemo, all that stuff. Like
hmm yeah. I mean, I guess yeah. No, those were the Princess Fairy Tale Hall thing that they took over the uh,
yeah.
Carnation Plaza is was IP based. So yeah, I mean it's definitely the way it's going, and these mega lands are definitely where it's going to be for a while.
Which is fine. Again, it's fine. I don't mind that. We get new things to play with in the park anyway. That's great. That's always a fun time.
Mhm.
You just want it to be done well, to where it's like, well, they kind of you can tell they rushed this. They rushed Avengers Campus. It wasn't it wasn't well thought out, and I think honestly they need to take out more land. Uh, than just the Bugs Land area. They need to
Yeah,
take
they
up
really
more
should have.
land.
It really should have been all of Hollywoodland. They should have just taken that
Yeah.
entire area and just make, because it's Marvel isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's not. It is a juggernaut that's not going anywhere. It should have just been that whole left side of the park. But, I mean, my my problem, I think, is Avengers and really all these Marvel movies is about making things like superheroes seem real and possible. Whereas something like Star Wars, it's fantasy all the way.
Hmm.
So I feel like that's a challenge. I don't think that's a risk
Yeah.
that I don't know if they took.
I
They
don't.
stuck the landing.
I don't know how you kind of like because California Adventure is not what it was set out to be anymore. It's an
No, no.
amalgamation of a bunch of random stuff. Literally cartoons with live action superheroes with Hollywood and then you
Hollywood
got
and
old Hollywood.
yeah,
Uh it's yeah,
you got you got hang gliders and talking cars and mermaids. And now you got Baymax and
yeah, it just it doesn't I think they really need to look at California Adventure kind of again and just kind of be like, what kind of just happened? Because it,
yeah. Well, see the problem. Yeah, they spent over $1 billion and said this is what we're doing. We are going to make everything's story based. Everything's going to be California, but we're going to put you in a different time and place. We've got, original characters because Paradise Pier had like an original backstory that they made up with like the proprietor who like owned Paradise Pier and of course you have all Buena Vista Street and all this stuff, and it all went out the window. It all went out the window, and it is kind of sad. It didn't even last 10 years
yeah,
before all that just went,
because then
and you
you have
just realized we
Grizzly
gotta.
Bear, which is next to the hotel, which I hope honestly never changed. But like each like literally like the lands just don't mesh. The lands just don't mesh.
They
And I mean, granted, yeah, I guess you could say the same thing for Disneyland, right? You go from like Frontierland, Adventureland type, but it's done.
that does a better job.
I was like,
They do a good
it's done
job of
in a
that.
better way. Yeah, it's not
Right.
just like I don't know, man. It's weird, and I think you also have the trees to kind of help you with that. In this California Adventure, it's completely open. There's hardly any trees over there, which is why when it's hot in California Adventure.
It's true. It
It
is the
sucks to be in California Adventure when it is hot because there's no shade. It's all open.
especially when you get over to where Little Mermaid is, and you're
Yes.
just like,
Oh my
oh,
god.
oh my gosh, there's no shade for the next, mile
I mean,
all the way.
and it makes sense. See, that actually is done well though, because the pier. There's no trees on the pier because it's in the ocean.
True,
So it
yeah.
makes sense, but it is hell when you're out there because
Tell
when
that to
it's
my sunburned skin.
when it's raining and when it's hot,
Yeah,
you are just miserable, man. You're just like, oh
yeah.
my god, because it's yeah, it's not fun. That's a big gripe I have with California Adventure though. Big gripe I have with California Adventure. It's too open.
It's too open, and like you said, it is kind of this. You can stand where Little Mermaid is and see, uh, you know, Cadillac Mountain Range, now San Francisco, whatever the heck Paradise Pixar Pier is, and then you got a whole huge hotel right over there. It doesn't, you know.
Yeah, it's yeah. I don't know. But again, we're not trying to hate on anything. It's just constructive criticism, really.
I think, yeah, I think that's what people sometimes, because we come at it with points. We say
Yeah,
this is how you would make it better. Something like Spider-Man could have been a great walkthrough. You didn't have to make it a ride. You
yeah.
could have used that space for something else. That's
If you want to do
a
the
lot
web
different than
showcase
saying it's
thing, yeah.
crap.
If you want to do the web showcase thing, go for it, man. That's fine. But yeah, don't make it like a theater or something, right?
Yeah. Or do some or take what Universal has a great Spider-Man ride. Make that a thing. So,
I think that's
but
also what
yeah,
they were trying to avoid.
to compare
So
it with
yeah.
it. Well, when you came out as the second best, I don't know. Maybe you should have competed a little bit better. But
We'll see though, man. I'm hoping that
yeah.
traction brings it around. See.
Yeah. Well, before we head out, that was a good conversation, I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was nice.
Yeah. Um, Before we head out, we have our segment of what are you liking right now, where we talk about things that we're liking, whether it's Disney or not. Um, Armando, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So, real quick before I even actually bring that up, I know I said I would like show the Lily Bell ticket that I had gotten like a long time ago, and
Oh,
my
yeah.
desk was completely like, dirty on stuff. I never had time to clean it or find it, but I actually did find it. It has nothing to do with what I'm liking right now, but it's just I figured now is a good time as any. This is what you
Mm-hmm.
get whenever you go on the Lily Bell. It's gonna be backwards, unfortunately, I think for a lot of people and for you, I think, but you get the kind of the
That's fine.
gist, the idea. So it's
Mhm.
really cool. You
That's
can
cool.
yeah you can write your it says this ticket admits blank and the party aboard the Disneyland Railroad presidential car at Lily Bell as guests of, and then whatever. But we weren't involved in a party or whatever because it was a special thing that we were able to go on at the time. So it's really nice, really cool.
Nice.
And again, we will get you on that someday.
I know. Oh
So
man, that's I
alrighty,
love that.
but as for what I'm liking right now, it's I'm still in that Lego phase right now.
Hey, that's
It's good, and I actually kind of just had some ideas, and I was like, well, you know, it was rumored like a long time ago when they did the Lego Haunted Mansion, that they might have done a mini Disneyland, of like rides, Space Mountain, all that stuff, and so far nothing has come out. It doesn't mean that they're not going to do it, but I don't know if it is a thing. Um, it was just a rumor that had heard. Um, but I figured I was like, man, I really like I really want to do. I really like those. I really want to have those displayed on my desk and stuff like that. So, there's a website called rebreakable.com where you people from all over the Lego community upload their own building instructions to make that stuff. So I had actually found a Space Mountain, like little like mini attraction similar to excuse me, similar to the Haunted Mansion um, Lego set. They made something similar to that. So so you can, some of them you have to pay for, some of them people charge for, but there are some that you can just download the instructions for free. And I'm actually gonna start doing that to make some cool attractions that I like. So that's something I'm really excited about.
yeah, that was cool. That the Space Mountain one.
Hmm.
Um, what what I'm liking is it's kind of it's a like a third party kind of thing because my girlfriend, I'd mentioned earlier, she went to Disneyland with her mom and sister, and they went to Minnie and Friends breakfast,
Oh,
which is the character breakfast at the Plaza Inn, and I'm really liking. She was telling me all about it, and I really want to go, and so it just seemed like it was a fun time. You get to go into the park a little bit early if you get a good reservation for it.
hmm.
It's just a fun. They just were talking about how great it was and how many, it's kind of the characters are just kind of whatever
Yeah,
whoever showed up that day. Honestly, it's kind of
that's
all
cool.
over the place, but it's a breakfast buffet, not too expensive. You get you in the park, and I really want to try it. It looks really
Maybe
good. That's what I'm liking right
maybe
now.
we'll have to try it and review it. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
So
I know. Yeah. Well, I mean, we got other breakfast places to go before that
oh
though
God,
too.
I'm so excited for that, dude. Oh,
Yeah,
you have no idea,
yeah.
no idea.
Watch this space for some blueberry pancakes.
I'm so excited, man. We're gonna spend a lot of money. Unfortunately, that's not what I'm excited about. But I am excited to try it. So
Yeah, so that's what I'm liking right now. She said it was fun. So
that's cool.
all right, yeah.
Sure.
So well, I guess we're gonna put this one to bed, and thank you guys for sticking with us through the bare end here, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Our conversations and whatnot, and our new segment. Let us know what you thought about it. And anyway, for Armando, I'm Steve, and we'll see you next time with another edition of the Way of Magic podcast. See you later, folks.
Hey there, everyone. Thanks for watching this episode of the Way of Magic podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and you like our content, don't forget to subscribe and like this episode, and don't forget to turn on notifications for when we upload.
And if you prefer to listen to this podcast instead, you can find the Way of Magic podcast on Amazon Music, Google Podcast, Spotify, and even Spotify for podcasters. Thanks for listening.